Hey guys, Katie here. Today I am doing my September and October reading wrap up. I have not been reading a ton, though I actually have been reading a little bit every night. It's just that one of the books I read was really long. But I still feel really good about what I've been reading. I've really been enjoying it. And my only issue with everything is that there's so much more that I want to read that I don't have time for. So the first book that I finished in September was Good Morning Midnight by Lily Brooks Dalton. I did a review of this a couple of weeks ago, which I will link to in the description and probably in the video as well. I really love this book. I thought it was interesting and unique, and those are definitely good things in a kind of post-apocalyptic literary novel. Good Morning Midnight is the story of two people who are stranded after society breaks down in different places. One is in space on a research ship, and the other one is at a research facility in the Arctic. They are kind of contemplating their lives and the things that they've done. So it's very inward, it's very character driven, and it's a great read. So I do recommend it. I'm looking forward to whatever Lily Brooks Dalton comes up with next. The next book that I finished in September was The Passion by Jeanette Winterson. It's such a fantastic story and a beautiful book to read. I also did a review for this, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in this story. It is historical fiction set in the late 1800s, and it's set in France and Italy, so both beautiful locations and a few others, and I just think Jeanette Winterson does a great job writing these wonderful characters. The Passion deals with two people amidst the Napoleonic Wars. One of them is a young man who ends up going into war and working for Napoleon, and the other is a young woman named Villanelle who works and lives in Venice, and sometimes she dresses as a man, and she falls in love with a woman, and the story kind of goes from there. Really awesome read. I really enjoyed this. Be sure to check out my review if you're interested in that. So this is the part where things get crazy because I was reading several books at once, and some of them I haven't even finished yet. But one of those books was The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps by Kai Ashante Wilson. You may have heard his name recently because his new book, A Taste of Honey, just came out, and it's looking to be another great read. The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps is a really unique story, and I definitely think it's the kind of story that you will want to read over and over again. I'm going to do a review for it soon, but just so that you kind of know a little bit about it, I'm sure you've heard of it. The story is about a man named Domain who is a demigod, and he's joined this group of traveling mercenaries on a journey. He's called the Sorcerer because obviously as a demigod he has some abilities that are beyond the human ability. Aside from his kind of interesting relationship with these men in the traveling group, he also has a relationship with the captain, who is also a demigod or is actually a god. So they kind of have to hide their relationship and their feelings, and it's not a fast book. It's really slow paced, but once you hit the action, you are in it and it just flies. So I would definitely say if you're thinking about reading this, expect it to take a long time, expect to take it slow, to reread things, and just enjoy it. Finally, the last book that I read in October was Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. I love this book. I think Sarah Waters is incredible. The way she writes is just beautiful, and I was constantly struggling to put the book down. The story follows a young woman named Nancy as she finds herself falling in love with another woman who is a singer and eventually goes off to London with her. And I don't really want to give anything away. To be honest, that is like a tiny fraction of the story. I thought that was the story, and then it went so much further than that, and you really get to experience Nancy's adventures. There are so many, and kind of enjoy this sort of coming of age story and this exploration of sexuality in a time when it really wasn't talked about. Really interesting. I would love to know more, and I will be reading more of her work. I was recommended The Little Stranger, so I think I'm going to go with that next, but I want to read all of it. It was amazing, and I loved it. I will definitely do a review on that as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any thoughts on these books or any recommendations from them. I had a really great time reading all of them. It's been a while since I enjoyed so many books in a row, so that's pretty amazing. Let me know what you've been reading, and I will see you next time. Bye!